Is it necessary to have a circuit that will trip the breakers feeding transfer switch equipment that operate in a closed transition mode? From a Canadian standpoint, the standards that have pretty much been adopted across Canada by most utilities really started with the IEEE 1547 standard, which is the seed document. In that standard, it makes a differentiation between an embedded generator that will be connected for more than 100 milliseconds and those that will be confined to a maximum interconnection of 100 milliseconds or less. For today's purposes, we are going to be discussing closed transition mode operation, which we will confine to be a transfer of 100 milliseconds maximum or 100 milliseconds or less. We're going to look at this from the standpoint of being connected to source 1, before the transfer happens. If we are doing a test on a transfer switch, with two sources available and we are running the generator and we selected a test feature on the transfer switch, the controller on the transfer switch would start looking for the two sources to come into synchronism. When that happens, the emergency contacts are closed. Those contacts are parallel to two sources for a very short period of time, and after the transfer is complete, we will have isolated source 1 and be connected to source 2. That whole transfer takes place in less than 100 milliseconds, which meets the CSA requirements for closed transmission transfer. As long as that is the case, the utility interconnect agreements that 95% of the utilities used in Canada now, will not require direct control of the point of common coupling or the main breaker into the facility. That's typically what the utility considers the point of common coupling. There are some exceptions to that rule. In particular, in the province of Quebec, they do require a circuit that if the transfer is not completed within 100 milliseconds, that action is taken to open the point of common coupling, thereby isolating the embedded generator from the utility source. It is possible, and that feature is actually a standard feature of all the ASCO closed transition transfer switches. It actually is a required feature of any transfer switch that is CSA certified to the 1708.1 standard. So from a designer standpoint, if that is required by the utility, and you specify certified transfer switches for that purpose, you should have that feature if it's required. But typically, it's not required.